Hi everyone, Wavy Watch is back with another build, and today we're going to be doing a Seiko Pepsi build. So this is going to be another GMT watch from Aliexpress. And quickly before we begin, I know I've got the wrong bezel. I've ordered the correct bezel, and I'll do another video in the future correcting all of my GMT watches, so just look forward to that. So at the minute, just enjoy the video. So today we're just going to be building a watch from scratch. From all the parts are ordered from Aliexpress. So this little intro is just all the parts. So here is this beautiful dial with the red GMT logo text at the bottom. As you can see, I'm up in my game. I've got condom fingers. I've got this little dial holder to keep the dust out. Here we can see the beautiful GMT style hands. There's the NH34 movement. Then I've got a couple of straps. I've got like 3 to pick from, but I'll show you at the end which one I choose. So this is the movement, and you get this ring. So between the NH35 and the NH34 movements, you're going to get an extra ring with this NH34, and that basically acts as a spacer. So don't lose it, and just keep that to one side for now. So first thing you want to do is you get your movement on a movement holder like this, and then you're going to be working on your dial. So I'm going to go and get my dial out now with my fancy brand new tweezers. They're plastic, so they're not going to scratch the dial, and my condom fingers won't get greasy fingertips on the dial. I've been listening to the comments. I've been getting so many very helpful and nice comments on my watch videos, and I really appreciate it. So all the dials come with extra dial feet, so you're going to have to cut or snip some of them. So as you can see here, I've got some nail clippers, and they cut really close to the dial, and then you basically line it up with the movement. I do one side at a time. I do it very slowly. And then there's a hole where the dial should click in. That's what I'm doing right now. And then I'm deciding which one to snip off, and then I'm doing one at a time basically. If you do snip off the wrong one, it's not the end of the world. It's a pain in the arse because you have to glue on new dial feet, so you don't want to do that. And then you can get something to file down or sand down that snip you've just done, so it's not sharp. You don't have to do this. I don't always do it, but on this video I'm trying to up my game. I'm trying to make higher quality standard videos, and here you can just see me sanding it down, and then I've got a dust blower which is just going to blow away all the dust obviously from that sanding, from that snipping. And then once you've done all that, the holes should line up perfectly. But before you put on the dial, do not forget you've got that spacer which is here. So you're going to get the spacer out and you're going to put it down, and this basically is, I don't know exactly what it does, but I know it allows the GMT function, that extra hour hand for the other time zone. It allows that to work. So you've got to put that down first under the dial, and then once you're happy, you can just go ahead and put the dial down. So now what I'm going to do is immediately set the time to midnight. And without hands, the way you're going to do that is with this blue crown. It's just going to twist and twist and twist until the date changes, and as soon as the date changes you stop, and then there you go, you're at midnight. And that means that the watch is like calibrated, it's set, and you can go ahead and get your hands ready. So the first one on a GMT watch is going to be your GMT hand. So I've got this really nice red hand because it's a Pepsi build. I've got that Pepsi style. I didn't really want to do blue, so I thought red will go on very nice. So my tool that I use for hands don't work, so some tweezers will work on this part, because as you can see there, this red tip tool that I'm using, it's too thin, and the other side isn't thick enough, so tweezers will push it down if you're very careful. And then once that's on, you can go ahead and put your hour hand on. I've not found any difficulty with the GMT or that hour hand. They've not been touching each other. There's been enough of a gap. It's been quite easy. That blue stuff that you've just seen is called Rodico, also known as blue tack in some parts of the world. And it basically just you can see what it's doing. It holds the hands, and you can line them up, and then with that tool you can push them down. And if you're using tweezers, you might drop them, or you might bend them, or you might scratch them. With this Rodico, it's really good. The only downside is it does stick to your finger condoms, as you can see there. And what I'm doing now is just checking that everything is on the right. I'm just checking it's right, basically, and this is something you should do if you're building a watch. So here we go back on midnight, and we've just seen the snap. The date has changed, so we know that the hands are all on perfect. Unfortunately, I put the seconds hand on, and my fat hands were blocking the camera. So unfortunately, you didn't get to see that bit. But the same again with the Rodico. Take your time, and you're going to push that seconds hand onto that small pin. And there was a quick little tip. There was a quick little clip of me showing it around, and then I always just lift the movement and tilt it, and I just make sure none of the hands are going to collide with each other or nothing. If you can see there, they were all spaced out really nicely, and that was perfect. So the case, this beautiful Pepsi case, it's red and blue. It's 40mm, and it's got this zoom in function. I think it's called a Cyclops, and then it's got a clear glass case back to see the movement, which I really like. Like I've already mentioned, and thanks to the comments on the other video, the bezel is wrong. The bezel is not a GMT bezel, but I promise you, I've ordered the bezel, and I will do a nice little video how to remove the bezel and then how to put a new one on. So moving on, to remove that crown. It's not a crown, is it? The blue crown, plastic crown. To remove that, you push in that pin. Then I normally just bite the blue plastic piece, which pulls it off. And then I'm about to fit the case, and there's that little plastic thing there on the right hand side. You want to remove that because it's going to interfere with the movement and the dial. It won't fit unless you remove it. So now with the stem and the plastic crown removed, you can go ahead and fit the movement to the case. The bezel is not stuck down yet, so that's why it's fallen out. So the next part is we're going to focus on the crown. So here's the crown and the stem. I'm going to screw it on, and it's obviously going to be too long because the movement can fit many different kind of styles and watches and cases. So it's far too long. So I'm just checking it works and it's set right. I don't really have any super tips for this. There's many better ways to do this, but personally, I will get some snippers and I'll snip it once. I'll file it down. Get rid of all them rugged edges. I'll fit the crown, I'll test it, see if that works, and then I'll do it again until I'm happy. So I'm not going to show you all of that. Now I'm happy on this clip, I'm going to go ahead and put some Loctite on. So this is just going to stop the crown from unscrewing from the stem, because if you're setting the time and you want to rewind and go back, if you do that without the Loctite, the crown will unscrew. So the Loctite's not permanent, it's not super glue, it's just going to hold that crown and stem in place, and it's going to stop it from unscrewing and coming loose. So when you do fit it, just make sure you've got some tissue just to get rid of the excess. You don't want it getting into the movement, but you want it to do the right job. So as you can see, my crown and stem fit perfectly. Another upgrade from some of my videos is this like lubricant that you get for the gasket. So you got a rubber gasket which helps the watch to be waterproof. I've said in my other videos I don't recommend swimming in this in these watches. I've done it myself and it's leaked. So if you think you've water tested, pressure tested your watches, then go ahead. But my personal advice is no. I just wouldn't swim in them. I'd maybe shower and maybe wash your hands, go in the rain, but swimming is different. There's that different pressure. But this case back goes on nicely with the rubber ball, and I was just showing you quickly that plastic little circle. I left mine out because it was interfering with the movement and it was stopping it from running. So I don't really think it's necessary. It's not on any of my other GMT watches. So now we can start with the bezel. So you get this it's like 3M tape, double-sided sticky tape, and it's already fitted to the case. So you just got to remove that. You can use any tool you want. Just try not to scratch the glass, because that would obviously ruin your whole build, and that would be very annoying. And we'll go ahead and fit the PEPSI the bezel onto the watch. For the third time now, I'm not going to mention it again, I promise. It's not a GMT bezel, but it's the one that come with the watch, and I've ordered it the correct bezel, and I'll do another video. But here, this watch is looking beautiful. A bit of a close-up. I really like the red GMT hand, and I really like the red text on the dial. It's not something I've done on the other watches like the Batman. And this is a side-by-side comparison from my Seiko Sport 5 automatic watch, and then this is my Aliexpress watch on the left, which I'm building. So we can go ahead and start fitting the strap. We're nearly finished now. We're nearly at the end of this video, and we'll still go ahead and put this watch strap on. I just want to do a massive thank you. All of my videos have been doing amazingly. The Batman GMT watch got like 11,000 views. The other videos have got like at least 1,000 views on it, and all the comments I'm reading, I'm replying to all of them, and it means a lot. It's making me want to make more videos. That's why I'm doing this video now. It's really inspiring, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying this hobby, and I would highly recommend it to anyone else. I will put the links of all the parts in the description, but I'm not going to put any of the Seiko logos in the description. I don't recommend you buying the Seiko logo. This is a homage watch after all, and the video is purely for educational purposes on how to build a watch, and I don't want to get in any trouble myself. But you can go to Aliexpress, you can find all the parts that you want out there. So the watch is finished, it's on the wrist, and it's beautiful. I think it's probably my favourite watch at the minute, until I build another one. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video, and let me know in the comments below if you like this watch. Take care.